Hello? It's small. That is the worst intro ever. Anyways, it's your favorite recovering caffeine addict over here, back again with another DBD stream where I read up on Shane Wigwas' lore, and I actually really like it. Without spoiling too much, it basically exposes...
But I'll pull up with my crew for your next stream. Add me up on Discord. Zeus1.
The timing is damn near impeccable. The instantaneous. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that. Anyways, without spoiling too much, Shane's lore actually exposes the dark reality of the prison system. Simply through Shane's sense of justice. To most people, it means justice is a synonym with punishment. Do something wrong, you get sent to prison, end of story. But for Shane Wigwas and the community he grew up in, justice means balance. Do something wrong, and you do everything in your power to make it right. And while going through this, through videos online, I was redirected to the fact that many prison systems just completely forego the idea of balance. It's mostly just focused on getting as much money as possible, as well as racial bias. And when I played Prison Architect, basically you build your own prison type shit, I completed all of the main shit for there, and at the very end, the credit sequence, the ending sequence essentially, it really just proves why prisons exist. For their prisoners to reform and hopefully be sent back into modern civilization. Reform them, atone for their wrongdoings so they can eventually they can learn the error of their ways, rather than what prisons have been primarily turned into nowadays, which is basically just hold as many people as possible because you're paid for doing that. I assume there was even a commercial on a radio station, GTA 5, that mentions just how lucrative the correctional facility is when it comes to how much money you can get. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too much. And then again, what I'm mostly focused on was his idea of justice. Balance. Do something wrong, you have to make it right. Also, Shane Wigwas stock just went straight up since... Tae Young stocks just went straight up since we got the new summertime outfit, which happens to contain the only thing that people really care about. Another shirtless. Another character that has a cosmetics for them to be shirtless. Chaos Shuffle has given me an amazing opportunity to explore the other killers that I usually don't play as. And the reason I don't play as them is because I just don't know what builds to give them. I know what builds to give to the survivors, and that's mainly because I center the builds around the character itself, as well as a couple of aspects. You can be forgiven for thinking that survivors are basically nothing but cosmetics, that they don't really provide anything. Well, if that's the case, how come Ace Visconti is a character recognized for just being the quietest survivor in the entire roster? Or with Jeff Johansson being so loud that he's basically considered pay to lose. Obviously, the survivors are more than just their perks or cosmetics or size. That does play a big role, even though the size only really depicts width, and whether or not they have a vagina. I couldn't help it. Since the female skeleton is notoriously smaller than the average male skeleton. Though obviously not all survivors are created equal. Characters like Ash and Jeff are relatively big. Though their pain noises are actually relatively different. And off the top of my head, I can name some survivors that are a bit loud, and I'm just gonna quick fire Bill as an honorable mention, since there are several memes where we're working on a generator of an injured Bill. You're dealing with someone who is losing rapid amounts of blood and also is a smoker, so naturally they're gonna be coughing a lot. So basically, louder survivors like Meg, I want to say David, Fang isn't exactly all that quiet. We already went over how some people consider Jeff pay to lose. Ash is just loud in general. Even just running when healthy. He seems to be wheezing a lot. A byproduct of the fact that this character is actually middle-aged. Leon is...
It's gonna be a tough road.
Sus. Hattie is actually so loud that my build actually I actually find Hattie so loud that I incorporate a Iron Will into a build. Everyone is intimately aware of Sable's pain sounds. I don't think I have to explain why. And Nicolas Cage, when he's in pain, he's in pain. Anyways, now for the survivors that I deem quiet. To no one's surprise, Ace. Adam is kind of reserved for his pain. Obviously, for this kind of argument, we would also have to factor in the legendary skins, but I don't feel like doing that because that would require work and effort. And on the Small Call Twitch, we don't do any of that. Another fairly quiet character would be Ada, as well as, oddly enough, Trevor and Rick.
Gotta be some reason behind
I know Rick is far from the best character. I mean, look at his fucking perks. This is gonna be reworked in just one chest. But it's honestly pretty sad to see that Rick, the main character of The Walking Dead, is one of the worst survivors to play as. And just in a situation where all of his perks are just ignored. Like, completely. I've gotten some use out of him. And the character is definitely going to get a surge in popularity tomorrow since Glenn, a legendary skin for Rick that I do plan on purchasing. Not because of his cameo appearance in the Walking Dead Telltale game, but because I actually saw the show. And I wasn't actually planning on keeping that secret for very long, and I'm gonna shut up and actually place the character. I'm Andrew Lincoln, aka Ricky Dicky Doodah Grimes. Three survivors that I was just talking about for being relatively quiet, and Meg, despite undeniably being pretty much the best survivor in the current meta, she's pretty loud. So who'd have thought it? In terms of everything, Meg is the best survivor in DBD. Her perks have always been extremely popular throughout the game's lifespan. And, yeah. Like how the nurse is the best killer in DBD, Meg is also the best survivor in DBD.
Never a day off. Not in a long...
Yeah, she's a bit loud, but no one is perfect. If I told you I don't like extrasensory perception because there are several instances where I don't really mean to activate it, would I still be labeled a bitch? We're all held up in one place. Now, if I designed DBD, I would offer a niche perk that would make it so if you're huddled up with all three of the other survivors, you'd get some kind of benefit from that. It's just me. Yes, I prefer still sight over extrasensory perception. Mainly because, oddly enough, I don't like activating the perk. I don't like those green eggs and ham, Sam I am. I kinda like how Jason can just enter a window through an area that would just be a drop. I don't know, it seems funny to me. It makes no legitimate sense in any other context, but I like it. When going through a window through Omnipresent Evil, Jason can change the side he comes from, which is obviously good for, do I need to explain?
this figured out.
You're not slick. Neither am I. Welcome to the Not Slick Club. What is my motivation for streaming this game? Because I like it, and by looking after my own shit with my phone, I can get Twitch rewards. So I don't even have to actually watch any of this shit. I don't really make a whole lot of DBD suggestions. When it comes to licenses, I only really suggest IPs that I'm personally familiar with. Even though I have suggested Berserk, even though I don't know shit about that series. The main reason I actually decided to suggest that is mainly because, from what I've seen, it definitely looks similar to what DBD would, what behavior would look for. And as a next anime license, as a second anime license, it might be good. I mean, we all know Tokyo Ghoul is basically a phenomenal license. An amazing introduction to a new type of licenses of the anime variety. So my dislike for extrasensory perception in practice is ultimately because I feel like every time I have the thing, I have to change my entire playstyle around it. Also, still sight can be used while being healed. So further proof that extrasensory perception doesn't really hit the exact same nuance for me as still sight. I was worried about this. That was bound to happen. I did good. I was never here. I heard that grass. I saw that grass moving. Being careful. Weird geometry got me. Weird geometry. Okay, that's bad. Trevor's just fucking dead. And yeah, I'm just fucked. Whatever's out there doesn't mean we have to make it easy for them. I know who you are and you know who I am. more subtlety. Really got me by the balls today. Kill me. Spend the key. He doesn't want to be here. Hey, it's me, boy, with a sweater. Hungry. There has to be some level of charm when it just comes to streaming with absolutely zero interfaces on the stream. Yeah, it kind of makes the thing look shit, but hey, it's a niche that I've fallen into because the only reason I'm doing this is because I can. I've actually grinded the shit out of Chaos Shuffle the last few days. Got a bunch of achievements on both PlayStation and Steam. Do not slip. Okay, I'll let you have that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hive Mind is better than Jagged Compass. I'm not asking that as a controversial question. I am asking that in case. Would people agree with me on that? What are the benefits to perfectly timing that shit? I know what the benefits are. It's so there's something you can do to get an achievement. I want my fucking achievement. Give it to me. Give it to me now. since Treacherous Crows is objectively shit, there really is only just one invocation perk in the entire game. And while I'm happy that we're getting a boon for the community-made chapter, which yes, it is ultimately community-made, the entire idea from Choirs of Sin came from what we voted for on the Grimoire thing. Behavior just took our suggestions and ran with it. And the idea of religious horror would definitely make this game more unique. We're adding more original elements to the horror library. Probably should have just vaulted. Oh wait, I'm gonna assume it's the purple add-on. And it's gone now, I think. I know I don't have Bamboozle. I'm pressuring the shit out of Jake in a way that makes me think maybe I shouldn't, and derive some of the pressure to the little objective of the survivors. The pressure in the surrounding area has led to... She's a clanker, so... people ignoring the clanker would likely be reasonable. You're doing more damage to yourself just by ignoring the person who just happens to be a bot. You're ultimately going to be better with more survivors rather than one person who's just dead. So, who the hell cares if they're not being controlled by an actual person? Keep the bot alive. They're at least doing something, and it's another factor that the killer will need to focus on. I'm just telling you, his scratch marks just fucking vanished. That was the... It hurts more in killer gameplay. My TV fucking turned off. And I'm trying to make sure I'm far enough out of reach so the anti-camp won't pop. For the love of God, just turn back on. I'm just out here to get perfectly timed attacks, bro. My TV hates me. None of that would have happened if my TV didn't fucking turn off. So you're the asshole who used the only invocation in the entire game. That isn't useless. Bamboozle-like effect when enraged. Got it. I run quickly. perfectly timed attacks more than I need the 4K, really. What the hell were you doing? You lended me the none are free tokens. I didn't get the scoring event for perfectly timed, so... Interesting maneuver. Didn't expect that to work as well as it did. I really should throw on the Bonnie Memento Mori for one of these Chaos Shuffle games. Don't you know that Tokyo Ghoul is literally a horror anime? I just gotta do it 4 more times. You're getting put directly back in the ring of fire.
Sun should have been up hours ago.
And I'm going to actively play as my main, essentially. After years of not falling into any particular niche, Dwight Fairfield, now in the entity's realm, is going to prove to everyone that he, at the very least, is needed by his fellow survivors. I cannot believe I have to say this, but stream boo is a bannable offense, and it always will be. You have got to be Is this really the kind of pain I've been inflicting on people as a possible skill check doctor? I belong in the entity's realm. Ain't no way. Fuck you. Ah! It feels like I fucked up a route in a choose your own adventure game. Carl did not have the means to sacrifice the hook. The foot sabotage. Carl did not have the means of sabotaging the hook. So this is basically just an endurance match now. We're already dead. We want that sweet succulent blood punch that Michaela Nader is willing to sacrifice everything for. Yeah, I didn't think I'd throw an actual professional DVD creator under the bus, would I? Oh yeah, it's just the key. Let's do this. Depression. Keep going. I've been subtle about my altruism, but now fuck it. Nice. Not even mad. I'm a habitual liar. It is impossible for me to tell the truth. can hear and potentially understand the entity at maximum and madness, tier 3. Real. I'm man enough to admit that I bullshit my way through a lot of things throughout this match. I just want to be mentally unstable. None of this advanced madness bullshit. Holy shnikes, he somehow got a generator. Now what? We need more killers in DBD with a high skill floor. Okay. The killer had this come to Jesus moment. The good ending. Except where's Robin? There's a non-0% chance Bo has an ulterior motive. He's gonna do the yoinky splinky once we get all the generators. I gave him my med kit, so that probably satisfied the beast. There's nothing else left for us here. So we made amends. He got to live happy. Suddenly, he had a come to Jesus moment and he stood in the basement. I gave him my med kit and we parted ways. And he left. Happy. Knowing that he inadvertently fucked up my Geif challenge. That's probably why. There's absolutely a reason why in-game chat is disabled. People are gonna abuse that shit, and we're gonna have a Left 4 Dead 2 scenario where people who are just doing their own thing should be ostracized. That's definitely not coming from a personal experience, by the way. Thanks for achievement progress. By gently pursuing for a few seconds, I made the game think I chased them for longer than I actually did. So I scared half a survivor into the other side of the map. If you think about it, the Nostromo map is basically formatted in such a way where the outside area performs a perfect U shape. The audible notifications that your enrage mode is running out and you're becoming hungry again. Hey, you found the secret. Woo! Hey, you did it. Don't worry, when you inevitably get unhooked, I'll naturally avoid you because naturally I don't do that shit. And then you can go back over there and do whatever it is you're going to do. I didn't know survivors had hex perks. Let alone one that can actively impact the killer in and out of the map. Oh, by the way, Jane unlocked her secret room. I lied. I can go anywhere the fuck I want. You bitch. She really did the thing that people in VR boxing tend to do. What? Oh yeah, I already knew about that. I already knew about that. I'm a... Whoa. Yay. Yeah. I'm gonna leave before I get terminal brain cancer. I'm laughably bad when it comes to dealing with friendlies. I got out while I still could, my brain still hurts. I set my controller sensitivity to low because I can't really handle high sensitivity. Even though once upon a time, I made my Steam account lobotomy patient and lobotomy gaming, and throughout several DBD matches, most of them 2v8, I just played as the default survivor of the busted up glasses from buying the Bubba DLC. And then
You leave me T_T.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. I cannot handle friendlies. I don't. It goes. I mainly just. I'm so sorry. I'm actually really fucking sorry, bro. My mindset doesn't really change when I play DBD games. I just go in, play match as intended, get blood points, and then fuck off. I am so fucking sorry, bro. You didn't do anything, bro. You didn't do anything.
We could have farmed hand with index finger and thumb crossed, smiling face with smiling eyes.
I never think about that. I usually think about just doing shit, just getting shit in DBD naturally over the course of several hours of just. Unless it's Team Fortress 2, I have a shit time with interacting with friendlies. There has to be some way I can turn this handicap into a positive for the community. I played a few spear matches on this map. My background player thinks it's actually balanced landing. I want to collaborate with Behavior to bring some of my stupid ideas into life in DBD. Some perks or killer ideas that are kind of missing. Some licenses that, although aren't ultra popular, they would still be nice to see. And just other quality of life additions that make this game just a bit less shitty. Like a coin. Almost all my ideas for this game are kept simplistic, so I'm just offering the idea. Flip a coin. If heads, you see the killer's aura for 10 seconds. If tails, you see the killer sees your aura for 10 seconds. The effect will be more drastic. Depending on the add-ons, the effect will be more drastic. Unless specifically stated otherwise, the aura reading effect will always be there. I don't know if it worked. It probably did for a few seconds. got you! Whose original idea was it to make background player give you 200% haste? Not even being mean, I genuinely want to know. Also, my first actual chapter that I've hypothesized for DBD, the one I'm actually happy about, feature a killer whose power would basically be you can make a clay mold of one of the survivors and poses them. Yeah, doppelganger. Idea might be bad for current DBD because it's too technically advanced. It's also the main for a similar reason as to why the Demogorgon's Moi is underwhelming. Having the head be removed is too technically advanced. The head being removed would be too technically advanced for how the game is programmed. Even though this was year 4, the best year of this game's entire life, undoubtedly, it was still new. So my ideas for this game is basically just introducing things that would be no-brainers as simple inclusions, but oddly enough we never really received. A survivor version of Lethal Pursuer. The survivor can see the killer's aura at the start of a match. And so the additional levels would make sense. You can see the killer's aura every time you cleanse a totem. As a fun casual perk, let's bring one of the effects from using the Hand of Vecna, where you can teleport to a nearby locker. Vanishing Act. It's an exhaustion perk and the teleportation range is really short. Like those 2 lockers over there. If you hit in one, you'll just activate Vanishing Act and suddenly appear in the one right next to it. A boon perk that would act as a detriment to the killer, as when they're within the boon radius, they would be negatively affected. The outline of the screen will still light up as if they're affected by the boon and its range. But unless they have a boon perk, nothing would happen. A killer perk that made it so the obsession would be revealed at the start of the match and would also be exposed. This is obviously for the killer mains that are good at orbital projectiles. And maybe reveal the obsession after criteria is met. Because after the initial start of the match, if I didn't include anything else, the perk would just be nothing. Kind of like corrupt intervention, but with an effect that doesn't warrant being disabled for the rest of the match. Another survivor perk that would be oriented around items, specifically maps, and it would make the maps more effective. And invocation, that would be a very out there solution for negative effects. Honestly, any invocation is better than Treacherous Crows. The nearby geometry made it look like the ramp was on the other side. I know there's another generator on the map that's relatively close to being done, but shut up, idiot. Invocation, that would be an outlandish solution to some negative debuffs. Any invocation is automatically better than Treacherous Crows. In fact, here's a good thing about other shitty perks in DBD. Just to prove to you that Treacherous Crows is the worst perk on both sides. Camaraderie. Easy. Not everyone is running Reassurance. Borrowed time. Assuming the killer has mentally mapped out how long the effects last for, you can make it so they really do have, as the perk implies, borrowed time. Overzealous. Just don't get hit, bro. strength and shadows. It's most likely that a lot of people would just be out for themselves, especially if everyone is a solo queue nerd, like me. Bite the bullet. Other healing perks make it better. Apocalyptic Ingenuity. It's getting a buff once we get the Choirs of Sin chapter. Moment of Glory. Play your cards just right, and congratulations. You have the What Doesn't Kill You perk from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. It's amazing there, and Moment of Glory should in theory be good here. Eyes of Belmont. It's basically a Survivor version and of Lethal Pursuer. It's basically a support perk in disguise that extends the length of your aura reading. Corrective Action. Not everyone is good at skill checks. That's not something that is exclusive to noobs, that they're universally shit at skill checks or whatever. Sometimes killers are bringing perks that make it so skill checks become harder. Well, if you're semi-decent in skill checks, that means we don't have a problem. I said this on a Twitter post once, but if DBD players were charged with the atrocities that they've committed, prisons would run out of space. Stupid. Ain't no way. I didn't even know I had that. I have to smack him with my basic attack because the ghouls can knock down survivors with their ability. It's a paramount rule for the character. The killer cannot down survivors with their power. There are absolutely a handful of survivors, especially some of the older ones, who straight up can't attack survivors with their power. We're seeing a lot more attacks through directly their power in the more modern times. Our brains are sable. I think that's all that needs to be said about that. Our brains are Sable Ward. Our brains are John Marston! Our brains are John Marston! Oh boy! I bet your bank account I can say a funny joke. I'm not crying because I'm eating ass. I'm crying because I'm not funny. Bruh. These are the only ways I've been able to acquire downs. And I'm jumping the gun. Strong. If DBD players were arrested for the atrocities that they committed, prisons would run out of space. Hell, boy. You know, the funny thing is that IShowSpeed actually played DBD. The old icons were still there, so you could tell this shit is ancient. Further cementing the fact that DBD is a yearly tradition. We come back to the game and see what else they implemented. And similar to Twitter, well actually, Twitter houses contrarians. DBD Twitter, on the other hand, houses nothing but retroactive individuals. It took me a while to use my noggin to remember what word I was supposed to use. So, stop being so fucking retroactive. One minute you'll say that this is amazing and we need this, and when we actually get it, you're going to sit... And I might as well just use an example of this. The example being the fact of getting a dedicated menu to see how to killers perform. It is objectively a very good and healthy addition to DBD. And people say that as well. But I guarantee you that when we actually get that, there are going to be some people who are going to just retroactively claim that it's deplorable. There is nothing good about seeing what the killers are capable of and getting a basic guide. Fuck tutorials and everything they stand for. Countless of contrarians inhabit Twitter. It's pretty much what it's known for. Talk to people who are chronically online and are almost entirely comprised of contrarians who will never agree with you on anything, even if scientifically proven. You could say air was safe to breathe, and the next day you'd find them posting that we need to become sea people. And then suddenly the account becomes completely active and you get a news article saying that someone drowned themselves in their bathtub because someone on Twitter said it's safe to breathe air. And I'm kind of almost impressed that Elon Musk was able to make millions. How the fuck was able to make millions off of running a website that is almost exclusively used by contrarians? So if you own Twitter for whatever reason, you're a fucking contrarian. I'm including myself in that argument. I've been down in the dumps like all of you and have consulted the dark side of contrarianism. I don't think I even pressed the button. By doing a decent amount of rubber banding generated as Dragon's Grasp with Key, since his power just makes rubber banding easier, you can safely guarantee down some. The game is rage baiting me by not giving me the prompt to do the perfect time shit. This man is a homosexual. I'm breathing in and I'm breathing. Guys, I can teach you how to ride something pretty big. Oh no! I was talking about my big heart! You're base baiting me, there's no other way. And you're just stupid for throwing that down. It wouldn't even let me do that. It actually refused. You cannot do this perfect attack because I have this trap card. And I fucked up the actual one. Given how I'm playing, I am not going to leave without a single kill. I am not going to leave without at least one kill. That's for certain. Now I never have to play the stupid fucking killer again. What? You sick son of a bitch. How the fuck? Petition to make the tea bag at the exit gate result in instant blood warden. Petition to make it so tea bag at exit gate results in instant blood warden. Sign this petition or I'll follow you home and kill your dog. Are you gonna survive? Are you gonna sign this, or will it be your surviving family members? Come on, sign this stupid petition. I got stuff to do. Hi there. Would you like to sign my petition? Yeep. Blood Lounge is what every map in DBD strives to be. Money! Oh no. My fuzzy hair. Wow. Holy shit. Oh. Yes, but I didn't get the chainsaw treatment. I'm keeping this ass wiped. I had no idea what I was doing. Thank you. Yay. Leave that little guy alone, High Energy. Can't die. I died. Does that not look like Melina from Mortal Kombat Deception or Armageddon? They have the exact same appearance in both games. It's the character that I have considered buying because his story is cool, but I don't really feel like buying him because I don't really give a shit about his perks. I didn't in the Jason PTB, and I still don't now, aside from maybe lend a hand. Which, speaking of which, a lot of people thought that, oh yeah, you're going to be testing out the new Survivor perks, but you're not going to have the newest Survivor himself. But what if the new Survivor is going to be a pre-established character like Renjiro and Julian? Both are really cool characters, and then we ended up getting neither of them. A completely new and original character whose only tie-in with DBD serves with Jake. He heard about Jake and his story, so naturally he came looking for him. My native state of Minnesota was mentioned somewhere in his lore. I don't know why that actively gives me a tiny little boner, but it does. Here in my state of Minnesota getting recognition. There's an audible noise notification for the killer whenever an invocation is set off. Also, that icon never leaves. Ever. Yeah, I waited a little bit just so she can get that. I was worried. So that has a bunch of collision issues. Like if the camera just shooting itself straight upward when being released. And that one meme where Dwight got rescued, but he got cursed or condemned into his fucking A pose. Out of all the bugs that this game has, he chose to fix the one that made it so survivors cannot A-pose. It's your choice what to fix, goofball. But why? Why? Why take away the A-posing? It's funny. Have you learned nothing from Team Fortress 2? I heard that. Nice. You bitch. forgot to change my item. Or really do anything in the loadout section. No good deed goes unpunished. Yay. Regardless of the context, admins will always be treated as if they have deliverance. Therefore, they will be treated unfairly. So, all admins are extremely unlucky. He doesn't know. Never actually saw that shit happen a day in my life. Before you ask, no, I am not doing the invocation. Wow. No. Mini game time. Fuck. Why are you so fucking specific? He's just guarding the shack. That actually scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Bro's not beating the Phantom Fear Bro's not beating the Phantom Pain allegations. I can't talk. I can't think. Everyone completely forgot about the fucking trails. A breeze. And not slack. Two popular licenses that I'm against having is it and The Last of Us. The Last of Us simply because those games are shit, and it because just look at the Fortnite Touch Royale Halloween event when they incorporated Pennywise. That shit went basically nowhere, and the reason is because Stephen King himself said he is not interested in games or giving his characters and likeness to games. He's not in that shit. He's not interested in that shit. So if we got Pennywise in DBD, even if it is the horror museum, the reality is it wouldn't be handled very well.
Also, Pennywise gives off strong Fortnite vibes. You should know exactly what I'm talking about by now. If not, lucky you. You're a fucking infant when it comes to the age of the internet. You almost got me, son. No. You gotta admit that was cool. evil. Like, actually straight up fucking evil. I will not tolerate that shit. You will fucking leave. Anyways. Dinner.